Oh yeah. So one thing I noticed about the Sho-Bud, just a couple things I have to do is pedal rack grease will spill out from here. I gotta wipe that down every so often. Then obviously from my mulling and Zum, it's a little different in how the pedal rods connect. But for the most part, it's still, same principle and everything. It's still an all pull. Some of the connections are different, but yeah. Oh yeah, it's my first lacquer guitar. It's beautiful. Definitely has a warmer tone, which could also just be the single coils. I've never had a guitar. Well, take it back. Maybe say Sidekick. My first steel had single coils, but I didn't know what I was doing when I had that. So, but yeah, still got the old Sho-Bud emblem on the rack. Everything was pretty clean when I've got it. Really. Everything looks pretty good. I could probably polish the end plate up, but for the most part, for being almost 50 years old, pretty dang good looking guitar. So two things that I was nervous about with this Bud is all my other steels have a 0 pedal. On my mullen, it drops my B's, string 5 and 10 to B flat, which a lot of guys have on the left knee vertical. But I will say it didn't take me too much getting used to not having a 0 because as you can see, it's kind of shifted over. So really, the first pedal, the A pedal, is kind of similar to where the A pedal is on my other guitars, even though it's not the first pedal, if that makes sense. I do find I have to position myself a little more to the right on this guitar. It feels a little bit longer just because it's got a longer key head. My mullen is probably more like that, shorter. But it's been really nice having these big tuning heads. I find it's a little easier to tune, not so hard on your fingers. One other really cool thing about this guitar is the left knee vertical up underneath it here. And I'll flip you around here. So the left knee vertical raises string 6 a minor third to make a unison with the open 5th string. So on my other guitars, I lower the 6th string a half tone. But it's been an interesting change. I thought about changing it to match on my other guitars, but I was like, man, I don't have that changed in any of my others, and something kind of different, gave me something new to mess around with. So I've really been enjoying that. Haven't found I've found a few things. I might do a separate video on that. Maybe it'll inspire you to maybe put that change in your guitar. I will say if I had the option, I'd rather keep the 6th string lower on this left knee vertical and then put this change on a staggered knee lever, either on somewhere on the right. That way you could use it. You'd basically have 3 different lever combinations that could affect the 6th string. You got your B pedal. Then you could use the 6th string lower to go back, and then you could go. So you'd have, 5 frets of movement within 3 levers, and you wouldn't ever have to move your bar. You can get some really bendy sounding stuff. So yeah, I was lucky enough to go check out this guitar in person. It was actually sold in Kentucky, which is super rare. Up in northern Kentucky, a younger guitar player got it and just kind of got busy gigging on guitar and just never really learned it. And it was an impulse buy. Like, I'd looked at it for a few weeks, and I'd message him I was just like, well, I'm just going to go play it, and if I love it, then maybe I'll see if I can make it work, maybe sell some other gear, and, pinch my pennies. But yeah, I just fell in love with it when I played it. It's got that old Sho-Bud tone that I've grown to love. Also nice, it came with a really nice case, flight case. It's heavier than shit, but at least it pads it really good. I don't know what brand. It says PSG on here. Let's see. Pedal Train? Yeah, Pedal Train. I don't know if they have a model, if this was custom ordered, but super nice case. Like I said, it's very heavy. The Sho-Bud itself is not terribly heavy, at least you know, everything I go is based off relation to my mullen. So my mullen's a 9x7, so you know it's got a lot of hardware on it. It's probably why it's so heavy, but yeah. I got Wayne Dow to help go over it with me. He had kind of cleaned it up, and he got some of my splits lined out, like for the ninth, you know, to line up the ninth string lower with like the half stop on the second string. And he just kind of did some general cleanup. He sanded out a little bit of my bridge, put new strings on, just gave it kind of a little fine tune. Yeah, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Wayne Dahl. He works, hangs out at Johnny King's shop a lot, Johnny and Sue there in Nashville, or kind of outside of Nashville, but you know, pretty close. All of those are super nice people, and Johnny's a really cool place to go check out. You know, it's Steel Guitar Wonderland. Super nice folks. But yeah, it plays like butter. I've been in love with it. I mean, I still love playing my other guitars. You know, it definitely feels like driving a Cadillac a little bit, playing this Bud. You know, my mullins, all the things throws are a little bit tighter and everything's a little more compact. But this thing, the tone of this thing is what's really made me fall in love with it. And I guess I can show you playing through a 400. Granted, like what you're going to hear is me playing. It's just coming through the phone speakers. So, you know, it's kind of whatever. But, pre and post, they usually match. Sometimes I'll go like a little bit higher on post. When I'm just practicing, I keep it pretty low. I go roughly 9 on low. Almost cut the mids. I usually add in a little bit. This is all the settings that I really like for my mullen, which it's got 705 humbucker pickup, but single coils are obviously brighter. So, but I've kind of grown to like that. When I was a younger player, I didn't like the brightness as much because it makes you, you know, you feel like you get caught with your pants down in a way because you can hear your pick attack a lot more and everything's just under a microscope whenever you turn that presence and treble up. But as I'm starting to get a little cleaner with my blocking and stuff, I've really enjoyed having that sparkle. But yeah, I'm having a blast with this guitar. I just want to make a little video and kind of show you, just show you my new toy. But I'll noodle around a little bit and kind of let you get a feel for the tone. Like I said, it's, you know, I'm just recording with my iPhone, so the speakers aren't whatever. I will say, though, I did a, I'll probably end up putting at the beginning of the video, but I did a overdub for one of my good friends, Hannah, the other day. Been playing with her pretty much since I've been playing steel. But I was really happy with the tone I got. It was through I recorded it direct through my Strymon Iridium. Those were roughly the settings. I think round and then cab C is kind of like the twin reverb sort of vibe. I'd have to look back at the manual, but that's roughly what I keep it on. But yeah, the Strymons sound great for recording direct, and actually with the single coil, the hum was pretty manageable. I was kind of nervous about it. I've actually played this live a few times in some darker bars, and I really haven't had any trouble with hum either, knock on wood. It's obviously a little bit noisier than a humbucker, but it's not like it's manageable. So anyways, well, I'll just noodle a little bit, let y'all get a feel for it. But yeah, appreciate y'all stopping in. Thanks for watching videos. Got more coming, and I'll play this out. I'll show you some licks too, using this lever. I mean, you know, obviously, now I will say it doesn't override or have any splits with the B pedal. So if I have the B pedal down and then hit this lever, the B pedal doesn't affect, you know, the B pedal doesn't do anything if this lever's engaged, just overrides it. Be cool if you can get some splits out of it. But, so you can kind of get that sort of rocky type riff. You can do it out of your A and B. Thing I really like using it with is like out of your 2 and 3 minor position, say like we're in open G. But yeah, I think I'll do a separate video trying to show how I kind of use that lever. But I mean, but it's just fun. It's just, you know, it's an extra. You can about use it in any position for different sounds, and it's definitely something cool to experiment with. But thank y'all for stopping in. Here's the new Bud. Yeah, see you next week.